I didn't see this coming. I did not see this coming from Ram, guys. This is, whoa. So I'm sure you guys already saw what Ram is looking to introduce in 2028. And this might be a car for my wife, but Ram, you cannot mess this up. You cannot mess this up. So let's go ahead and read this article. We might do a follow-up video because you guys know we like HD trucks, right? And golly, Ram, if you just built this SUV, you guys know what I'm about to say, right? You gotta do it, Ram. Please do it. Here's the title. Ram will launch its first SUV in 2028 with gas and PHEV setups. Says here, ever since the Ram nameplate was spun off from Dodge in 2009 to create a new brand, the division's lineup has consisted solely of pickup trucks and commercial vans. But now Ram will expand into new territory, with Automotive News reporting that Stellantis CEO Antonio Filosa told Wall Street analysts during a briefing that Ram will launch its own SUV model in 2028. Now, really quickly, I have to mention something. I think that Ram has a gold mine. This is some of the craziest news I thought I would ever hear, simply because there's no need for Ram to have his own SUV. You already have Jeep and Dodge. They can produce the SUVs they need. Now, I'm going to end this video discussing something that's a little concerning. I doubt it will happen, but just hang tight till the end. I want to discuss something with you guys, but let's keep reading. At the briefing, Filosa reportedly said the move is designed to give the brand a much more comprehensive product range, with the SUV scheduled to arrive the same year as a new midsize pickup truck, which might revive the Dakota name. The SUV will be built at a plant in Warren, Michigan, and will be sold with either a pure internal combustion powertrain or a range extender plug-in hybrid setup. When contacted by a car and driver about this report, Stellantis spokesperson said only, "The comments stand on their own. We don't have anything to add." Now here it says the Ram SUV will be built in Warren, Michigan, where the Jeep Grand Wagoneer is currently manufactured. This aligns with Stellantis' announcement earlier this month of a $13 billion investment over the next 4 years, which is to include a nearly $100 million injection into the Warren truck assembly plant to retool for a new large SUV. The factory currently builds the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, which is set to receive a range extender plug-in hybrid electric vehicle powertrain next year. It was unclear initially what brand this new SUV would fall under, but the Automotive News report points to it being the first SUV under the Ram umbrella. It is also unclear if this Ram SUV's plug-in hybrid and combustion powertrains will be shared directly with the Grand Wagoneer, but we wouldn't be shocked if that is the case. Now, this plug-in hybrid is most likely going to be the Ram Charger. If you don't remember, there was the Ram Rev and then the Ram Charger. So the Ram Charger basically uses a 3.6 liter Pentastar engine as a generator to keep the batteries charged. And so it was said that it would have 650 mile range or something like that, and it would pretty much help with range anxiety. So there is no longer going to be a electric Ram pickup. So this Ram Charger is now the Ram electric vehicle, basically. So hopefully they still do that, because I was actually interested to see what that would become. And so this SUV would basically have that same powertrain, most likely. Again, the Pentastar being a generator, but literally it's being, fully electric and has the battery pack, all that good stuff. The Ram 1500, the Dude concept, debuts at the SEMA show in early November. At the briefing, Filosa also said that Ram would receive 2 models under the SRT Performance division, which has been mostly dormant for the past few years since the demise of the V8 Power Charger and Challenger, currently producing only the Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. Filosa said the 2 SRT badge Rams will be announced within the next 3 months, and we expect one of them to be a reborn Ram 1500 TRX, now that the Hemi V8 has been reintroduced to the full-size truck. Filosa confirmed the existence of the new TRX in July, and we expect it to continue on the same path set out by the original TRX, with over 700 horsepower and off-road upgrades similar to those seen on the 6-cylinder powered RHO. The other Ram SRT model is a bit of a mystery, given that Ram's only other current products are the HD trucks and the ProMaster van, but perhaps a more street-oriented sports truck is in the cards. The Ram 1500 The Dude concept just unveiled for SEMA could serve as an early preview, pairing a V8 with 22-inch wheels and a vibrant paint job and a lowered stance. In other words, that's basically going head-to-head with the Ford F-150 Lobo. So nothing exciting there personally. Now, what are your guys' thoughts? Is this SUV something that makes sense? Because I'm excited about a full-size SUV. However, Ram is sitting on a gold mine if they do it the right way. Remember this, back in the day, Dodge, Daimler, Chrysler, whatever you want to call them, never had a competitor for the Ford Excursion or the 3/4 ton Suburban. Just never had one. And wouldn't it be cool if they came back to market with a 3/4 ton dubbed SUV? I would love to see it with a diesel, especially a Cummins. Highly unlikely. But if they did that, I'd buy one right now. I would be in line, deposit in hand, ready to go. Because could you imagine a stretched out SUV with a Ram nameplate with a Cummins? That would be crazy. Not likely to happen, but it would still be fun to talk about. Now they did talk about gas powered engines. Most likely would be the Hurricane Inline 6 or even potentially a more updated Hemi. Although I would like to see maybe even like a 6.2 with a supercharger, but that would just get terrible fuel economy and no one would buy that. But yes, if Ram plays their cards right, this could be a success for them. And I'm not against the Ram Charger idea. Remember, that would work well with an SUV because having that Pentastar takes away that range anxiety. So if someone wants to travel, especially if you travel with a family, no one's traveling for 10, 12, 16 hours a day. For most people, if they're doing a trip, especially a long distance trip, 10 plus hours, they're probably resting within that trip anyway. So even if they can only go 500 miles on a charge, once they go plug in to get that battery topped off, that Pentastar would be helping to maintain the range for them too. So figure every 4 hours or so you could be stopping anyways along the trip. But yes, this is exciting, but Ram has to do it the right way. This could be a huge success. I think people are kind of tired of the, normal full-size SUV segment, and bringing something different would really help shake it up a little bit. The Wagoneer definitely made a splash, but it's definitely not stealing a lot of market share from the others, personally. If you look at the sales numbers, the Wagoneers sell well for the Jeep product, but they're nowhere near what Chevy and GMC produce from their full-size SUVs. But this could shake up that full-size market, give someone something a little different. I'd be actually interested in owning a 3/4 ton SUV. And I want to make this point. You saw nowhere in this article that they were talking about a 3/4 ton HD SUV. This is just my hope. And we'll do a separate video on this because it would have to have at least 2,500 pounds of payload. Because see, I wouldn't mind giving up a HD truck for a little bit, have a SUV that can tow figure 10, 12,000 pounds, have a usable amount of payload, like again, 2,500 pounds would have to be the minimum because my race trailer is about 1,400 pounds and it would have to have a class 5 hitch, and if it had a diesel, even better, especially with an exhaust brake. And if it was a Cummins, oh my gosh, could you imagine a Cummins? It'd be like the last SUV you would ever have to buy, especially after you bulletproof it. But hope you guys liked the video. I didn't want to make this too long. I just saw this yesterday basically, and I decided to get up really early and film this for you guys so you could see this footage. And yeah, really excited to see what Ram has. But if they go about it the right way, this could be a big success. Obviously, adding an SRT badge to a full-size SUV to compete with even a Cadillac Escalade V, that would be kind of cool. But I think that that's a small market share. But if they were to bring out a full-size SUV, dub it an HD, that would really bring a whole new look to the full-size SUV segment, and I could see people biting off on that. But only time will tell. We'll see what Ram has. And as I said, last thing, I'm not against them doing the Ram Charger idea with this SUV. I would do that, or the diesel. I can go either way. So here's what's so concerning. There was a time when FCA discussed potentially breaking up the brands, and this kind of looks like this could still be on the table. So is it possible that Ram will be broken off from Jeep? I mean, I could see Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram being a brand, and they could sell the Jeep product off. I mean, it's very possible that they would do that, because remember, Stellantis under that nameplate is not an American company, so they could care less. And if they can sell that nameplate for a lot of money, then by all means they could do that. So we'll have to wait and see how all this shakes out. But again, this is just something to consider. Is this why Ram is putting together a full-size SUV, so that way they have something to compete in the future, because they won't have the Jeep nameplate? We'll see.